Hey, what's up?
I got something I think is very valuable. Why don't you take a look at it? That's a whale's tooth.
It's part of a whale's tooth.
Well, it's like it's worth a lot of money to me now. I decided to come into the pawn shop today to sell this whale's tooth that I bought. I paid $100 for this tooth. My wife is sure that I paid too much money for it. For all the guys out there, I'm trying to prove my wife wrong for once in my life. She said, don't buy it. I bought it, and I think it's worth some money.
This is called scrimshaw, and what it is it's an art form they used on the ship. What sailors did is when they had a little downtime, they would take the whale's teeth and they would carve things on it.
Okay.
This right here says the ship Midas, which is probably the whaling ship they were on. Whaling voyages could last for years at a time. Just imagine being out in the middle of nowhere for that long. So engraving whale's teeth is something they would do to pass the time. It's a real whale's tooth, I can tell you that.
Okay.
The thing is, there's a lot of fakes of these. It's sort of an odd fake, okay? They actually take a real whale's tooth and they engrave these scenes on them. And then they date them from like the 1800s like this and take $100 worth of whale's teeth and turn it into $1,500 antique.
Okay.
Like I said, the only thing I can tell you for sure is it's whale's tooth. I just don't know how to authenticate the art.
Okay, all right.
All right? I really just want someone to look at it. I have a friend who knows about this kind of stuff.
Okay.
So let me call him up and I'll give you a call when he gets here.
Okay, appreciate that. Okay, you give him a call.
I'm owner of West Sea Company. We deal in nautical antiques. I am really passionate about nautical antiques because they've been all over the world. The history is just fascinating. And what are your concerns about it, Rick?
I don't know if someone had a scrap piece of whale's tooth and they engraved all this on there, or if it's actually 1824.
What this looks like to me is what's called a logbook stamp. It was used on whaling ships, and every day the mate or the captain would keep a record of what the ship did. They would stamp the fact that they caught a whale, and then they would write the number of barrels of oil that the whale rendered. Then on the other end, you see that? That's the tail of a whale, or what's called the flukes. And if they lost a whale, and that would indicate that the whale was lost. Today, a whale book stamp is very collectible. It is the real thing, because very few of them have survived, and those that are around are precious. The color is right. There's no doubt in my mind that it is whale's tooth. This is wood carved. It's been used. You can see it's stained with the ink on both ends, and it's even identified ship Midas, and what's even greater is it's dated 1824. If it's 1824, it's the earliest American whaling item with a date and ship's name that I've ever seen.
Well, that makes it valuable, right?
If this is the real McCoy, I think you're looking at least $5,000.
Oh, well, now we're talking.
But not so fast.
Uh-oh.
There are some concerns here. I'm not so sure that this engraving is period. Somebody could have taken this, a real object, and after the fact, added these embellishments, thinking that they were going to increase the value, but in fact, they might have decreased the value.
Oh, yeah.
One of the concerns I have is that you can see it's cross-hatched here. When they did etching and engraving, they would do small, fine parallel lines. And it looks to me like these spine lines here are fractured. And that would indicate to me that it wasn't done when the tooth was taken, but it was done after the fact. Based on what I see here, I do not think that this engraving is period to the tooth. It's certainly not 1824.
It's not worth anything then, huh?
No. You're in good shape here. This is a real logbook stamp, and minus the engraving, you're still looking at $1,000, $1,500.
Yeah, now we're talking. That's what I like. I like this guy. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Rod. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure,
Thanks,
Rick.
man. So what do you want for the thing?
Well, I think I'll settle for $1,000 if you wouldn't mind.
Well, that's not going to happen. I'd like to pay like $500.
Oh, 500. I mean, $700. I mean, I think that's a reasonable price for everything that's said. So if I can get $700, I'd be happy. $700.
All right, $700.
All right. Good deal.
Let's go do some paperwork.
Okay. $700 cash money for something I paid $100 for, that's a good profit to me. I'm really, really happy. I'm feeling good.